All right. I don't know what episode number it is, so we're not going to worry about that anymore.
I feel like it's 25. Pretty sure.
It's 25.
We could have a discussion about that if we wanted to. You want to have a discussion about what episode
Well, we just
number
count
it is?
every episode we've ever done?
Yeah. You remember them all?
No.
Okay.
Next week will be the 6-month mark.
Oh, no kidding.
52 weeks in a year, episode 26. So it's exciting.
Wow.
I
That
haven't
is
missed
exciting.
a week. That's impressive, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, considering we were going to do it once a month.
Who said
Originally. That
We
was
were
the...
originally going to do it once.
Is that what we signed up for?
Pretty sure.
That's, yes.
Oh,
Rookie numbers.
feel like we get a bonus.
That is... This week we're going to talk about recipes. We've talked about hunting, fishing, hot topics, you name it. There's many more to come, but I kind of thought that it would be cool to talk about recipes this week. So we're going to go around the horn and talk about some of our favorites. But before we do that, my favorite, you want to pray us in?
Why does he get to be the favorite? Wow.
Because I'm the best.
He takes abuse pretty well, so
You do.
Wow. Dear Lord, I just thank you for bringing us here safely today. I pray that our discussions could just reach the right ears and the right audience and help us to just drop some insight in the kitchen. Amen.
Amen.
I like that.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
That's why you're the favorite.
That's right.
And I'm his
Yeah.
actual son, and I'm not even the
No
favorite.
kidding.
So it's it's tough out here. It's a hard position to reach. I never made it. So.
And you even got grandkids, too.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't know what the standards are, but
Tell you what, he doesn't like it when you leave him.
maybe I need to get
install
more
a
into waterfowl hunting. I don't know.
Yeah.
More into hanging sheetrock. There you go.
Oh.
Well, I spent 27 hours in the car with small children this past weekend. So if you want to trade, I'll do the sheetrock and you
Nope.
could do that. There
Nope.
you go.
Been there, done that. Got no desire whatsoever. So, well, listen, one of the things I wanted to open with is that I guess from talking to people, there's people that I talk to that don't basically live on wild game have some fears about cooking it. Right? There's fears about parasites and all these things. And so, there's really only a few that we cook completely done, bears, rabbits, things like that, because of some diseases that are associated. And the other thing is that people say they don't like the flavor. They don't like the gaminess and so on and so forth, or that it's really dry when we're talking about venison and, or turkey, wild turkey.
Or
Pheasants.
fishy flavors.
Yeah.
Forget about the fishies.
There's a whole bunch of these,
Yeah.
I guess, I don't know if you call them fears or apprehensions, I guess, about wild game. And honestly, I think it comes down to the way you cook it and the way you treat it, right?
Yes.
I mean, this
That's
is
huge.
from field to table, and treating it right from the very beginning to the plate, it plays a role in it. So, I'm not going to talk about it all. I'm just going to start out with a super easy recipe, and then we can get into some of you guys can talk about some of those other details. But this is probably one of the easiest recipes that will just blow people's mind. You can use pretty much anything probably with this. I typically do it with venison. So elk, deer, things like that. It's I'm going to call it queso. It's literally a box of Velveeta cheese. You cube it up. You can take a pound of venison, a pound of your favorite breakfast sausage, can of cream mushroom soup, and then 2 cans of my preferences, lime, cilantro, like Rotel diced tomato stuff that you can get, those little cans. You put all that in a crock pot. I don't know. I don't really time it, but it's quite a few hours. so it all melts and just stir it every so often. And literally you have a queso, right? Won't you call that a queso? You guys have had it.
It's well, that's, I mean, everybody knows it as like the Super Bowl, like meat and cheese. What? There's a name for this, Super Bowl queso, I guess. It's amazing. I mean, I think everybody's had it, whether you've had it with ground venison or not. It's probably depends, but it's so good.
Yeah,
I feel terrible after you eat too much of it, but
I don't know.
Yeah.
I've never felt table. I just get a spoon and start eating it. But it's as simple as that.
yeah.
Now, the one thing I will say about that recipe is that you're not gonna probably taste
Yeah.
the venison in it. It's a little bit of a cool thing. We do it at our Super Bowl party. We started doing it, I don't know how long ago. But it's a recipe that I just ran into some people at a meeting that I was at, and one of the guys' wives had made this, and they were nice enough to send me the recipe, and it is literally that simple.
But you brown the hamburger or you put it in raw?
No, brown it.
Brown it.
You,
Okay.
I brown everything,
Yeah.
throw it in. I actually put a bunch of onions, chop a bunch of
Oh,
onions,
yeah.
caramelize them, I guess is what the term is. I'm not a chef. I just cook.
Whatever, you're throwing it on caramel.
And in with it, you could put peppers in it. We have a little crock pot thing that has 3 little crocks in it. So we try to do one that's spicier,
Oh.
and then one that's kind of medium, then one that's mild. And so it's super easy. You'll blow people's socks off. If you don't have venison, use beef.
Mhm.
Try it. I mean, it's just it's really good. I like the fact that, and actually we've used the sausage that we made with venison, so it was just straight ground venison and a kind of it's a Italian sausage that we mix those together, which
Yeah.
might sound weird, but we put them in that queso, and just again the flavors is awesome, and it's easy, and so super simple. There's nothing that I do with wild game that's complicated.
And it's hard to screw up anything that you put Velveeta cheese in.
That's
Yeah.
true.
So, I mean, like that makes it a little more.
And a crock pot.
That-
If you screw up a crock pot meal, it's other than using the liner. Those things are a game changer. I have a question for you
Yes.
guys. Now, don't get mad, turkey hunters.
Uh-oh.
Do you ever grind your turkey?
Absolutely.
Okay, sweet.
We started doing that pretty recently, and I think it's going to be a must going forward.
Because I've started,
So-
maybe I'm not very observant, but I'd say in the last probably five-ish years, I've started to notice ground turkey at the store. I would assume it's healthier, right?
Well, the one thing I will say about that is I haven't had that many, but I've never had a ground turkey burger, or I guess you just say a turkey burger that was good, that wasn't homemade. I don't know exactly what it is that they do differently when it comes to grinding turkey and making that like sausage type, mixture, because obviously you have to add some kind of fat to it.
yeah.
I don't know what it is that they do differently, or if it's just the fact that it's a domestic bird, but like the difference between wild turkey and like farm raised turkey, I mean, you can notice a difference. It's not like outrageous, but you can definitely notice a difference. But like between the turkey burgers, it's outrageous. Like it's not even like you're eating, I don't know what it is, but it's not even like you're eating the same food, like the same meat. Like the turkey burgers, and this is nothing like, not meant to pat ourselves on the back, because we just started doing it, and we just did it the same way we do all of our other burger, just with turkey instead of whatever else. But they are like up there with like the best burgers I've ever had. Like,
So wild turkey's better.
Bar none.
Yeah.
Okay.
Flavor.
Dang.
I don't know exactly what it is, because like I said, it's not like a huge difference in my opinion between like a wild turkey and a domestic bird. Like if you eat them in other ways, like you notice it, but it's not massive, But like, yeah, for whatever reason, that burger stuff, it's just like night and day. Like I would never go get a turkey burger, but like the stuff that we grind, I'm like, I'd
Good
put that
stuff.
up against elk or like elk burgers or deer burgers or anything. It is so good.
What
And-
part of the turkey you grinding?
Breast.
Oh, okay. You keep the legs?
We do.
Yeah. You don't want to grind the legs?
It would be very difficult because there's a lot of tendons and
Yeah,
the
well, that's
legs
what
and
I'm thinking, like,
that's
you get
not
it
like
cold?
they're not like a domestic bird in that
Oh, okay.
regard. So the best thing to do is to slow cook them and
Yeah,
make
Maybe.
soup or
Yeah.
something. I think was it you that did the like stir fry with it or something like that?
Maybe. I don't remember.
But
Might have.
yeah, I mean it's you just slow cook it and then pull it apart and do whatever you want to do with it. But the reason why we started doing it was because I just had this insane season one year. I hunted a bunch of different states and I killed birds in every state that I was in, and we had all this turkey breast. We do a turkey roll too, which was we just decided it sounded good, so we did it. But we just had so much that I just ground a bunch of it and was like, hey, let's try turkey burgers. Well, Pam loves it. And that's her preference. So I've been, grinding my turkeys because
So what you said you added, what do you add to it?
pork
Pork
belly.
fat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically fresh bacon. Not bacon cured,
Yeah.
fresh
just-
bacon.
Yeah. It's cheaper.
Well, and you get a little meat in there too, and it's not just fat,
Yeah.
so
And we do which I know we've discussed this, but we do a 70-30 split. That's for bear, deer, elk, turkeys, whatever it is, anything that we're grinding. We just do 70-30 with that pork belly being the 30, and then the whatever the game meat is being the 70. A lot of guys will go like 50-50 because it's a little more moisture in the meat. It makes your meat go further. Or if you don't like the game flavor, that kind of helps
Down the back.
dilute that a little bit. But we like that, so we leave a little bit more in. But like if you were looking at strictly meat to fat, given that it's pork belly, like if you count the actual meat part of the pork belly, then you're looking at probably it's a bit leaner. It's probably more like 80-20 or 85-15 in terms of like actual meat to fat. So it's a little leaner than it sounds when you say 70-30, because some people will put straight fat in there, But that's been really good for us. I mean, we don't really have dry burgers or sausage or anything. But like I said, it trims down a little bit the number of pounds of meat that you have in the end. So
yeah, we don't cook at Hockey Puck either.
Where do you
Right.
get your pork fat from?
Costco.
Oh, really?
Good job.
Yeah, because
pork
then
belly. You get pork
belly.
belly.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
they have slabs that are like maybe
9 pounds typically.
24 inches long
Mhm.
by, I don't know, 10 inches like tall or whatever. And we just basically slice them up. Like if you ever see those like hunks of bacon that aren't sliced like into individual strips and they're like 3 inches thick or whatever, 2 inches thick, we'll just cut them into strips like that and just drop it into the grinder as we're grinding
Kind of randomly as
the
you're going.
game meat. So it comes out pretty good. It's pretty easy.
Yeah, then we mix it, with our hands.
This is gonna be hard not to go down to the. We tried to do a sausage making episode. We're gonna definitely have to do that because that's a whole process.
I have all
like video and the whole process.
I have all of the video. I just
Yeah.
haven't edited it
Yeah.
because I just finished up deer season because I'm way behind. So that's that and turkey season from this year are next. So I'm gonna try
We
to get.
appreciate our editor and everything he
Yes,
does.
correct.
Yeah, no, I'm not worried about it. I just it's time consuming, and I'm not very good in my filming skills are pretty rudimentary because this is all pretty new to me. So I get kind of neurotic about it, but the film isn't like great quality all the time. So it's getting better, but it's hard for me to let it go sometimes and just be like, look, like the camera's only so good. My skills are only so good. I just got to move on. Like I can't make this into a meat eater video or something like that. So that's part of what takes me so
You're
long.
not a videographer yet, maybe.
No, I mean, just freelance, I guess is what you
There
would
you
call
go.
it.
Maybe.
So we talked about couple of recipes, but tell us about you guys. Tell us about the importance of how you treat it.
Oh,
Well,
from the time it hits the ground.
so I guess depending on what it is. So with a deer, if it's close enough to a road or a pasture, whatever it is, or you can just drive the pickup into where the deer's at. Normally we'll do that. If
What's that like?
Easy. It's easy.
Sorry, go ahead.
If it's further away or down a nasty cut or something, we'll pack it out to the road. But either way, we don't debone in the field. We just take the legs and then the loins, the back straps, and then the neck meat and stuff like that. So we'll take that back to the truck, go back to wherever we're staying, and then sometimes we quarter it, sometimes we take the whole carcass, depending on. If we take the whole carcass, we'll hang it overnight. If we just quartered it, we'll set that out, and then either the next morning or later in the day, we'll start deboning it, and that process takes an hour or 2 hours usually, and get that all put away into the Ziploc bags and get it in a cooler, and then get home, put it in a freezer, and it'll sit in that freezer till probably February, January-ish, somewhere in there.
when it's too cold to ice fish.
No, not at all. Just whenever Dad has a free weekend.
When it's too cold to ice fish.
And then we start the sausage making process, and you kind of are explain that a little bit. We go 60-40 with our sausage, right?
You got it. Except
60.
you're going to call us pansies. We're 60 pork, 40 venison.
That is true. We go pork tenderloin.
Holy
pork belly.
crap.
Meat goes a long way that way.
It does. Well, and if you go, so I feel like we should get sponsored by Costco.
I don't think
But if you
Costco
get the pork loin at Costco, it's the cheapest meat you can get, and maybe we should talk about something else because I know we already talked about this, but it's $2 a pound is expensive. I think just about, especially if you buy it by the case, it's like $1.75 a pound. It's dirt cheap. And then just a little shout out if you want pork fat, most of your butcher shops they're not going to give it to you. You know, it's like, it was kind of funny. I went to,
But it's straight fat though.
the straight fat.
Okay.
Yeah, I went to Butcher Block but that's the thing with pork loin, it's really lean. You don't get a lot of fat with that. So
Right.
I went to Butcher Block and I was like, how much for pork fat? And they were like $1.20. I was like, $1.20 for pork fat, whatever. Then I went to Costco for a pork belly. It was like $2.25 or something like that. And I was like, oh. Of course, I was on the other end of town. So, anyways, don't complain about.
And he did make the drive back up there.
No, I didn't. I bought the pork belly and the
Alright.
pork, but this was last year.
Oh, not this.
When
this past year.
yeah, not
You
this
figured it
past
out
year.
this
Yeah,
past year.
yeah, correct. I bought the fat.
And then
But-
for
Well, waterfowl guy. That's honestly what I would like to know. What are you doing?
So I got a question for
Oh
you.
yeah,
Right
yeah.
So you guys don't dry age.
No,
You don't let your meat hang at all.
no, but it's
if
most.
it's well, are you talking like
You're kind of doing it because there's a process where you freeze the meat, thaw it out, and then refreeze it. You're kind of sort of aging it by doing that.
this is
do
a hot
that,
topic in my house.
we don't purposely do it?
If you were to ask my wife that is breaking the law.
Same with mine. You can't eat it after it's
Yes.
been thawed. You can't refreeze it. All right, sorry.
I've never understood that.
We should
Can't
not talk
refreeze
about this
anything, yes.
anymore.
I'm not
Yes.
going to tell anybody.
I still don't.
She doesn't watch, so I'm not worried
Yeah,
about it.
exactly.
No, but so
Anyways,
the only
yeah.
difference, right? Speed, right? Get
Yeah.
the heat out of the animal. Right?
Yes.
Get that meat cooled off as fast as you can. You know, it's
Especially
not
those
like it's
hindquarters.
not like you're leaving the thing whole and driving around, you know, or leaving it out in the sun, even if it's 40 degrees.
Mhm.
You know, you guys aren't doing that, right?
Correct.
You're trying to get the hide off it and get that thing cooled out as fast. I mean, we've thrown them underneath the pickup before,
Mhm.
you know,
And-
because somebody killed a deer early. We throw the meat bags with the quarters underneath
Yeah.
the truck in the shade.
Being prepared.
Go
is
on
huge.
hunting.
Having a cooler with ice, something to cool it down. Yeah.
Yep. But the difference that we do is the quarters come home and they hang 7 to 10 days, sometimes a little bit longer.
You just leave them in your garage.
Yeah,
Or where you
because
If it's cold enough.
If it's
Yeah,
cold enough,
yeah.
yeah.
Because we do it like this year, this past season, the end of the season, and the weekend before Thanksgiving, it was like 60 degrees out.
Yeah, we had a very mild deer season.
Yeah.
Well, it started cold,
Mhm.
It did,
but
and
it
then just
ended
got
warm,
warmer and
which is
warmer.
backwards. But my point is, like, if you hang those quarters, it is weather dependent. Like, you can't generally just hang them in any weather.
Yeah.
Because they need to stay cool. Now there are places and tactics and things you can do to hang meat in warm weather. I don't know the details. There's a Meat Eater episode where they went to Africa, and I just saw a clip of it, but they hang their meat for like a couple weeks or whatever it is.
Mhm.
And it's Africa, so it's
Yeah.
a million degrees or whatever, and it's hot. But they basically say, like, if you keep airflow and you keep the bugs off of it, that's the most important thing. In a garage, it's really hard to do both of those things. So if it's warm, so generally we just say, anything where if it's not getting below freezing at night or very close to, then, or if it's getting above like 50 plus degrees during the day, we're not letting it hang for more than a day in those cases. But just to clarify,
Like my elk.
yeah,
We cut that up as soon as we got back.
Right.
because
Yeah, a bit of a
It was too
history
warm.
lesson. My father-in-law would always talk about this. My grandpa said this too. So way back in the day, but even before electricity, right? They would take, and I want to say it was beef, and hang it from the windmill just to get it up in the wind away from probably exactly what they're doing at Meat Eater. And it would get that crust on the outside.
Yep.
And then they would just go saw off a piece. It's above, you're not having flies or anything. It had to be high enough, right? And that's summertime, right? When you think about it, like, seriously? But yeah, there was no maggots or anything in it. They had to climb up the windmill, right? To get to it. And then pork was winter, right? Kind of the same thing. So anyways.
Well, and salting is another historic thing that was done too to preserve. Right, doesn't work quite the same way, but like covering the outside of your meat in salt can keep. A lot of times it'll keep the bugs away, and it'll kind of do the same thing as what that like natural like crust is doing when it forms on the meat. That salt layer will kind of protect the meat from rotting on the inside. So if you really are like, I live in Texas and I want to dry age my meat and it never gets cold enough here to let it hang, like, definitely look into it, because none of us are experts on it, but like there are ways,
or
don't
throw a comment in if you are in the southern climate. Yeah, how do you?
or yeah, if
age
you
your
have a
meat?
tip, yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I'd like to know.
'Cause we do have some random southern climate periods up here in the winter, so
Occasionally,
once in a
if I'm
while.
lucky.
Well, my brother has a walk-in cooler, so that's handy.
Oh,
There you go.
yes.
So when we go back to New Hampshire,
you sure it's not Vermont?
man.
I had
that's-
to.
that's-
I'm sorry.
That's cold.
Okay, waterfall guy.
For
Goose hits the ground. Goose hits the ground. What are you doing?
it either goes in the grass behind our blinds, it'll go in a blind, or it'll go under a shell decoy, and it'll sit there till we're done hunting, and then as we're picking up all the decoys, they'll get thrown into a pile, and then if it was a good day, you take pictures with them, and if it wasn't a good day, you act like it didn't happen, and then either we clean them in the field, or and throw them in a Ziploc bag.
Unless they're doves.
I was gonna say, or in a housing development.
Yeah. That's if we remembered a Ziploc bag. If we didn't, or for whatever reason we shot enough birds where we didn't have enough Ziplocs, they'll just go either in a truck bed hole, and we'll take them back into town and just do them at somebody's house. We just breast our ducks, geese, anything like that. I've always wanted to take a duck hole, but I kind of doubt I will.
You ever kill a speck, you better pluck it.
I killed like probably 10 total specks this year, and I didn't pluck any of them. Just took the breasts, but they were good though. They're better than.
Do you have
So sad.
Do you have a good recipe after he's done?
Well,
yes,
that's
it
basically
is. It is as simple as it gets.
that's basically it for those birds. Just put them in a Ziploc bag and then put them in
But-
the freezer till you're ready.
So
to use
how do you cook them? Like ducks, for example, because I don't want to talk about geese because I don't like geese that much eating
It's
them. So
not good. I just jerky's the only answer, except for specks. I like
Ducks.
specks are actually pretty good.
Ducks.
Ducks, I'll either go like just in a skillet with some oil. That's usually pretty good. I like to marinate them for a little while before I do them because ducks and geese, but geese especially have that really that gamey taste. Early season geese, you'll get that muddy taste because they're on those ponds all year long. So generally, a quick tip: your rule of thumb for waterfowl is the later in the season, the better they're gonna taste because they've had more time to eat grain. Because in the summer they're sitting on those creeks, those breeding ponds, and they're just eating whatever's in those creeks. So any little fish out of that muddy water, any worms, anything like that, bugs. And then once they get late into that season, they've had a couple months to eat that grain, so they'll taste a little bit better. But yeah, for ducks, I usually just like to one of my better ones that I did this year was soy sauce, Worcestershire sauce, chili powder, and garlic powder, and just fill it up enough so they cover about like 3/4 of the breast in a Tupperware, and I'd let that sit for like 12 to 24 hours, and then just in the fridge.
You don't like the taste of them very much.
Well, half the time, like the 24-hour ones, I kind of like forgot about it,
Yeah.
and then I like saw it in the
There's that,
fridge, and I was like, oh,
I was gonna say that
probably gotta
pretty-
make this.
Very salty.
Saucy.
Normally,
It was really good.
Normally, I'd do it like I'd get home or whatever around like noon, and I'd throw them in the marinator at like 1, and then my plan was to make them like the next day for lunch or like that night for dinner. But sometimes I forgot about them, and it became like the next 2 days type thing. Anyways,
I bet they weren't dry.
Yeah.
no, they weren't. But anyways, I threw those in a skillet with some oil and pan seared them, I guess, and then just threw them in some Asian style noodles with like just the Thai noodles you get from the grocery store or whatever, and then just some sauce on top of that, and it was actually pretty good. Carrots, onions.
What is the key to making duck?
Don't overcook it.
Mm.
You gotta. It's gotta like when you cut into a duck. If you've never had it before, you're gonna think it looks raw because you should have like a very purple-ish center. I'd say, like most of your center should be purple.
Still quacking.
So
Rare.
Rare.
Yeah,
Rare.
yeah, rare.
Yeah.
If you're one of those people who like your steaks well done, and you think you're gonna like duck well done, you own it.
Don't do it.
It gets more rubbery than any sort of four-legged animal could get, and I feel like the gamey flavor comes out more when you cook it.
It
So-
doesn't even taste the same.
Yeah.
No, it tastes completely different.
Other
Worse.
than bears, poultry, and small game, there's pretty much nothing out there that you want to cook well done.
Exactly.
I mean, you might want to because if it means that much to you that you'd rather chew on well done shoe leather than medium rare good meat, then go ahead. But if you are like you're okay with a medium rare steak, like don't cook anything well done. That's wild.
pink's
Unless it's
Pink's okay.
one of those animals.
Well, yeah.
Venison, deer,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Pink's
Yeah.
okay.
A lot of pink. I mean, it's just I'll get to mine, but yeah, if you're a well done kind of person, just close your eyes and give it a try
Right.
because it is so much better.
Yeah, it doesn't even taste the same.
Yeah, don't do well done.
Well, and even if it doesn't taste that great on the first bite, it's going to take you a heck of a lot less time to chew. So,
No
I mean,
kidding.
that's
Yeah,
so.
Man, you're on it today.
Just say it like
Wow.
it's quick that way. So if you don't like it, you don't have to sit there and gnaw on it for 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
It is because Mom doesn't like rare, but she eats that duck like there's no tomorrow because
Yeah.
we'll, pink.
yeah.
That's probably
And one of the tricks to that, cut it, let it sit for a minute.
Oh yeah, you always have
It
to let your
won't
meat
look
rest.
rare anymore if you let it sit
Right.
for a minute.
really.
The blood will run out of it.
That's
Oh.
one thing I think that doesn't get mentioned a lot that gets a lot of people because it's one thing to cook red meat, like 4-legged red meat, like medium rare. Nobody really bats an eye. Like generally, if you give them a medium rare piece of elk meat or whatever, they're not going to be like, "Oh, this is disgusting." But if you give them bird,
Yeah,
that's medium rare, people are going to be like, "This ain't right," because
Mhm.
there's no domestic bird, that you're going to cook not well
Yeah.
done.
yeah.
So that's one thing I think that's a little bit of a hurdle because I've explained it to people before, like specifically with Sandhill Crane, because that's one of our favorites, and that one it looks like you're eating like a red meat, because it's a little more reddish than that duck. It's not quite as purple. But like people will be like, this is a bird and it's medium rare. Like it doesn't seem right. But just have faith.
Yeah.
I just tell them after they've eaten it.
Yeah. We're not gonna tell you anything that's going to be dangerous.
Yeah.
So just if you haven't done it, just try it. It's worth it. So
yeah, have you ever cooked it like steak?
Yeah.
Like a breast half?
Yeah. I've not done a goose, but I've done ducks.
I wouldn't do it with a goose. It'd waste your time.
Yeah, goose is terrible, especially Canadian geese, man. The only good way to cook them is sausage or jerky. Until someone opens my eyes to a way of cooking Canadian goose that I haven't tried. I've never tried snow, and speck's actually almost as good as duck. But Canadian geese, someone's got to show me a way to do it other than sausage and jerky, because I haven't figured it out.
Get us to post in the
Smoke goose is
comments
worse,
if you
dude.
have.
yeah, if you have any
Impossible.
the only
Canadian?
non like jerky or meat stick or sausage recipe that I've had for goose that was pretty good. Had nothing to do with the regular meat. It was, I think I was with you the first time I had it, was liver pate
Oh, yeah.
from goose.
Yeah.
Which is liver.
Yeah, I feel like
So a lot of people probably wouldn't like it, but
I feel
it's
like
good.
all liver tastes close to the same.
But it's good.
Yeah.
It's
that
that's
was
that's
really
like the
good.
only
Yeah.
thing I can think of though, literally outside of
it's not an easy meat to work with in a kitchen environment.
Well, I mean, if you spend much time around geese, you see how mean they are. It's not a surprise that they taste like crap. I mean, they just want to bite everything. Piss at everything.
I'm not arguing with you. For pheasants, or I guess that's the one type of wild game we haven't talked about really.
Yeah, go for it.
Well, you shoot a pheasant and then you put it in your bird bag for a couple hours, and they don't look too great coming out of that bird bag, and then you cut them open on a tailgate. We don't take pheasant legs ever. Those are one of the stringiest pieces of meat you'll find out there in the wild game world. But grouse, I've eaten whole before. Partridge, I've eaten whole before. So sometimes we'll take those whole. Normally we just breast pheasants, partridge, grouse, anything like that. We've done pheasant quesadillas before. Those were really good.
That's right. That was really good.
Sounds good.
It's a white meat. It's obviously a little bit more gamey than chicken, but they cook pretty much the same. For grouse, I think grouse is better than pheasant. In a pan is perfectly fine. That
Man, you'd make Grandpa happy right now.
that pink center, like we talked about. Once again, you got to have that. Partridge is interesting because it's a very small piece of meat compared to a lot of other things, so you can do a lot with it. I've seen people do people do like partridge poppers, stuffing whole partridge, that's big. A lot of stuff that you see done with doves, people also do with partridge. There's a lot of interesting things you can do with a partridge and doves for that respect, I guess.
Partridge are mild too.
Yeah, partridge don't have a strong flavor profile.
Yeah. And on the poppers thing, that's another great duck one that we've done.
Yeah.
Dove, duck, or partridge. But I think the first time I had it with wild stuff was ducks that you had made. I prefer the doves.
Yeah.
But the duck poppers are still really good. Like I feel like a lot of people probably do them similar. There's a million different ways. It's just like, for anybody who hasn't seen them, it's just like a little kebab, and like a lot of times people will wrap them in bacon. But usually what we'll do is we'll do like a little piece of the breast meat, and then like a little bit of cream cheese and like a jalapeno slice, or maybe like I think we've done banana peppers, water chestnuts, which I'm not a big fan of them things. Yeah. Most people I know are not, but
until you said that.
But the poppers are still good if you can get over the texture of the water chestnuts. But
Mushrooms.
Yeah, mushrooms. There you can take pretty much anything though, and put them on those poppers. And
yeah, it's hard to make a popper taste.
Yeah, I mean,
it's hard to screw up cream cheese.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say the only thing I would say, the only way that you really could probably somewhat screw it up is if you don't add something like cream cheese in there.
Yeah, you definitely need a binder of
it can.
sorts.
Yeah, if it can get a little dry, so having those, especially if you don't do the bacon will help with the fat, but having something creamy in there to like add a little bit of moisture I feel like that's kind of like a staple.
Half slice of bacon, not a full slice, so you're not just eating bacon.
Right. And I like the thinner cut stuff better for that, because I like bacon, but I'm not I don't get a lot of things with bacon just because, like you said, it just takes over the flavor. Like you put little bacon bits in a salad, and it's like you're eating
That's what
like
it tastes like.
bacon flavored lettuce. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
bacon has a very, very strong.
So yeah, I like to go easy on the bacon. But if you like bacon, just
And that cheap bacon cooks faster, right?
Yep.
You know, that's the thing. So then you're not overcooking your bird.
Well, you
know,
can
whatever
crisp it a little bit on
Exactly.
like poppers and stuff like that,
Mhm.
you know, or if you do a roll, you know, with a turkey breast or something like that on the grill, it'll crisp up a little bit on the outside, and I think people really like that.
That is one thing I want to expand on. You mentioned the turkey roll earlier, and maybe it's popular, but like a lot of the people I've talked to about it have like never heard of it.
I've never heard, when you said that, I was going to ask you.
I'm going to take this one because I made it for Thanksgiving. It's my dad's recipe, but I made it for Thanksgiving last year. It actually came out pretty good. It was a little overcooked, that the turkey was, but it came out pretty good. So what we'll do, and it's kind of like a giant popper, essentially, is the way like the recipe wise in terms of what you do with it.
Jelly roll with meat.
Or that, yes. Like if you've ever had like those like bread rolls that have like jelly or cinnamon like in them and they're rolled up, that's essentially the same idea. So what you do is you take your turkey breast and you like butterfly it or basically make it a uniform flat piece of meat, however you prefer to do that. Sometimes it can be tough because if you don't get it just right, it'll fall apart, whatever. But a good big piece of meat is helpful. And then you flatten it out, take one side and just spread like cream cheese. It's usually what we do. There's probably other things that would work, but spread cream cheese all over it and then put whatever seasonings. We're pretty simple. We usually will just be like salt, pepper, garlic powder for most things, maybe some onion powder. Or anytime you do garlic powder, it's pretty much always an upgrade to actually dice up some garlic and put them in there. You got to go a little easy on it because it's usually a lot stronger. But it's hard to have too much garlic, in my opinion.
I
agree.
agree.
So do that, and then like a lot of times we'll do some jalapenos. You could do the banana peppers, you know, any of that kind of stuff. Something to add a little acidity and a little bit of sweetness to it. And then you literally grab that one end of the turkey breast and roll it up like a sleeping bag. Huh. And then when you get there, this is when it gets fun. Is you pin it together however you want. A lot of times we'll use toothpicks, or if you got skewers and you run them through, you can do something like that. And then once you get it to hold, you wrap it in bacon. Like full slice will usually pretty much go all the way around because they're pretty stretchy, you know?
Yeah.
So take that bacon and then use those toothpicks or whatever, or like twine, and just basically tie it up. And then we'll take that and just throw it on the rotisserie.
Oh.
And it is awesome. It is messy. And, you know, if you do it, like before you tell anybody, try to make a deal where you don't have to do any of the cleanup. Because cleaning the rotisserie after doing that with the cream cheese flowing out of there and the bacon grease and all that kind of stuff is not fun. I speak from experience. But it's fantastic. And one thing I will say though is like, yeah, if you can, like that, it's easy to think of it as this big hunk of meat that it's like it's going to take a while to cook. But when you really think about it, it's rolled up, but that turkey is pretty thin when you've got it all spread out. So the mistake I made was letting it cook longer because I was like, oh, I don't know if it's going to be done. I didn't want to pull it off and check it and it not be done. But like chances are, if it's like questionable, it's probably done. Yeah. Because that turkey is so thin, and like we've talked about, like you want to cook the turkey done, but like a lot of people will say, okay, well, the number's 165, right? That's the number for poultry. If you cook it till 165 and pull it off, it's going to continue cooking afterwards, and it's going to be like well done, and it's going to be dry. It'll help if you brine it. We don't always brine it when we're doing something like the turkey roll, but if you're doing like a whole breast or something, the brine is good, but it still will be dry. So like this is one thing I've talked to him about with my wife a number of times too, is like the way that poultry or pork for that matter is supposed to be done is like there's a very signature look to raw poultry. Like if it's raw in the middle, it's very obvious.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
You know.
But like a lot of people will get freaked by you cut open a chicken breast, turkey breast, piece of pork loin, whatever it is, and there's like a little bit of like a pink tinge to it. That is not raw.
Yeah, that's not raw.
That's the perfect way. Like you should be able to put your knife or your hand on the top of that piece of meat and push on it, and like this like pinkish like juice is flowing out of it. Like you want it to have a little bit of pink color. That's not to say the meat looks raw, but like it should just like have a pink tinge. You know what I mean? It still should be juice running out of it. If you get it there and you actually eat it that way, and like if you're worried about it, you just suck it up one time and just eat it that way. It'll be like, oh my gosh, I've never had it right before.
I call it translucent because it has this funky look. It's not white. Because if a pork chop is white, that's just wrong because that's going to be dry.
Right.
And if it's chicken and it's like white, it's probably going to be dry. And if it's wild game, if it's a wild bird, then it's really going to be dry, most likely, unless you brine it. And don't do what my son-in-law did. He brined half a turkey breast overnight. Because I brine our turkeys when we have Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And I brine the turkey overnight.
Yeah.
I think we do this.
He brined
we do our 7
a half a turkey breast. No skin on it, no nothing.
Oh.
Overnight.
What was in the brine, do you know?
Well, what he tasted was salt.
Yeah, I could figure that out.
Basically, osmosis, it's going to equilibrate. And
terrible.
so it just sucks all the salt in. And
generally, the brine is just salt, water, and a few seasonings.
whatever seasoning you like. Yep.
It helps the moisture. It helps pull some of the flavor through. But that's why it works is because of the salt. But that's also the danger of doing it too long is because of the salt. If you do something like soy sauce or something salty, a lot of times that won't be as bad. Like if you leave it too long, like you said, because it's not as concentrated. But like it's just literally salt water.
Yeah.
Because the seasoning isn't really making a difference in terms of like the dryness or the movement.
The water into the meat.
Right.
Yeah.
And the salt facilitates that. So that's one thing. I haven't done it enough to like be able to say this is what you do this time. Like look it up because like you said, the amount of meat you're doing and the context of the meat, if you will, or the condition of it, whether it's got skin on or it's got bones in it, all that stuff will make a difference. And generally, the more stuff going on, the more time you can acceptably be in the brine. But if you're just doing like boneless, skinless, whatever, it doesn't have to be long.
Yeah.
Like an hour, a couple hours.
Breast half, yeah. I usually
Max.
do like 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah.
If I brine a turkey breast.
And you don't even have to do, like, it'll make a difference at like an hour. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like it will continue to get better to a certain point and then it'll get too much. But I bet it wasn't dry though. It may have been salty, but I bet it wasn't dry.
And the cool part about a turkey roll, if you have any left over, which is extremely rare in my experience, you cut about that much and throw that on some bread.
Yes.
And make you a sandwich.
Good stuff.
As my buddies in Missouri would say, it'll make you swallow your tongue and slap your mama.
Which is good.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing.
That's a good thing.
That one too that I want to mention, it's probably self-explanatory, but any of like the poppers or anything with cream cheese, a great addition to that in any sort of way, whether it's with crackers or inside a meat thing or something like that, is like pepper jelly. That's one of my favorite combinations on the planet. And it's something that I've been wanting to try the turkey roll with is doing like the cream cheese and then taking a bunch of that pepper jelly and spreading it on the inside. I don't think we've ever done that before, but I've been wanting to.
No, that's actually a really good. It'd be an awesome glaze too.
Yeah.
If you're going to glaze.
It's one of the most underrated like cooking things I feel like that nobody uses enough because it's always good.
Yeah.
So if you ever want to try something new, do that and let me know how it is.
What are you going to dazzle us with?
Well,
talk about the jerky.
I could talk about a lot of things, but
we're not talking sausage.
Yeah, I am going to talk about fish. But if you haven't done this, so you get a deer down. Like, what are you guys eating that night? Okay, I want to talk about that too, because I've had heart and it's amazing. And I've had heart, and it's like, I don't ever want it. And I don't know what the difference was. Like the first
somebody
time,
didn't do a good job cooking it.
It could be
overcooked it probably.
Overcooked. Well, all right. So heart, how are you making heart?
I'm frying it in the skillet with onions.
Yeah.
Salt,
thick
pepper, and
are
garlic
you
powder.
Salt, pepper, and garlic powder.
How
Half
thick?
inch
Half-inch
slices, like steaks, basically.
Mhm.
You got to make sure to trim off all the extra stuff. Like there's little bits of like fat, kind of like
From the
tissue.
outside. Yep.
Well, on the inside too. A lot of times, unless you've got like water in the field, like there's usually gunk in there. Like there's blood clots and membrane stuff. So like make sure it might seem a little gross, but make sure like you get it under some cold water in the sink, like running cold water, and put your hands in the actual like atrium ventricle chambers is the word I was looking for. Put your hands in the chambers and make sure that it's all dug out. It's not that hard to do, but like it's easy to forget or the stuff gets stuck in there. So yeah, just a lot of times I'll just like take a real thin layer off of like the whole outside because it has a little bit of like a membrane on it.
Yep.
And then just literally I just go from the big side to this little side and just slice it into like 1/2 inch steaks basically. And like he said, put butter in a pan, onions in a pan, let the onions cook down a little bit, and then throw the...
Are you breading it at all, or just... Nope. Just breading the oil.
It's not for everybody, because I cooked it for my buddy when he shot his first deer. One of my buddies in Montana, shout out to Cole. I cooked it for him. He was not a fan. I was happy in the moment because he was like, that's all you, man. So I got all of it. But I told him, I talked it up a lot. I was like, this is so good. You're going to love it. And maybe I just didn't do a great job that time. I liked it, but he wasn't a fan. So I got to eat the rest of it. But.
Liver the same way.
Yep.
And the
exactly
key I think to it is when you're frying it, you'll see little tiny like bubbles almost of blood.
In liver.
No, heart too.
Oh, yeah.
That take it off.
Oh,
because if you
that's
go too far,
there,
it'll get again chewy and
liver's worse in that.
Liver's way worse. Yeah. You know about that, but it's you see these little. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're
little
talking about,
tiny. They're in like there's like seams in the muscle, kind of like real subtle seams. You can see it's not like silver skin, but it's like these little like creases, and it'll like seep out of those.
Yeah.
But the thing that I always use that he taught me, which is probably super common, is like the heel of your hand. Like if you press, not as much the outside, but like usually where the thumb is, it's a little bit firmer. If you just like press there with your finger, that's kind of the firmness that you want that meat to have when it's in the pan. And when it gets there, done.
Dig it off.
Yeah, that's usually like a medium to medium rare. But it's weird because like when you cut into it, it doesn't look, it's not meat in the same sense of like regular
different.
Muscle tissue. Yeah. So it doesn't look like it's like, it doesn't look the same where it's got this nice pink or, red in the middle. And it looks a little bit different. But like that's what I've always gone by. And I mean, honestly, like I am not anything special when it comes to cooking, but I've never screwed it up by doing that. Just checking, like I'll literally be cooking it and I'll like press into my heel of my hand and then I press into that and be like, oh, that's about right.
Dang, fellas.
Works like a charm.
It's good stuff.
Liver and onions hard to beat. I think I actually probably would take liver over a heart.
Yeah, I like liver, but no way. Heart is like the number 2 best cut of meat on a deer, in my opinion.
Don't get me wrong, I like heart. It's just I love.
That's a terrible take. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Have you ever had it the way that I just said?
I've never had it like the specific
so
way
you
that you
don't
said,
know.
But I've had heart before, and it's not bad, but it's not top. It's
oh
not
my
top
gosh!
I've only had heart where I liked it one time, and it was one of those things where somebody made it, and they probably just pulled it off exactly like you said, and it was one of those. Everybody was like, I don't know. Well, that's pretty good, and by the time it was like, well,
it's gone.
There's none left.
It's really like a meal. A deer heart is like a meal for one like grown adult.
Yeah,
an elk is a different story. You can feed some people with that. A couple people, but one deer heart's like that's a decent meal for me, one person. But seriously, we will, and I can't guarantee you that it's going to change your mind, but we'll have to get together and do that when we have a fresh one. Because, or a couple of them, because I think I may not move it to your top.
I'll believe you.
I may not move it to your top 3, but I think I could definitely, or him could definitely move it up the chain.
Was this deer was it a mule deer or the
I've done it on.
But your buddy
half a dozen.
Didn't like it.
Oh, his was a mule deer.
His mule deer.
Yeah.
Okay. Because the time I liked it, I had it and it was really good was a whitetail. Now, who knows? That's probably just.
I mean, I've had both and haven't really noticed a difference. But
Well, what we do is normally we take
just wreck it. Because
we normally just grind our heart into sausage.
no, mom's gonna be pissed.
We
She doesn't like that either.
that's like grinding tenderloin into sausage to me. But
we eat the tenderloin normally after we get a deer on the ground.
That's what I was gonna say.
Well, you were taking too long.
Yeah.
And he likes to put this like blackened seasoning on it that just makes it worse. I'm not gonna lie. Just over peppers it. What you gotta do is a nice either garlic or onion powder, preferably garlic powder.
Okay, can I start from scratch? So this
You're
is
wrong.
Yeah, you had your chance.
Yeah, you had your chance.
I can't let the people.
You can finish with yours because I agree.
to.
I like the flavor behind it, but there's one thing you got to do with that. So I always do back straps, and try to get a uniform piece of back strap that's I don't know, depending how many people you're going to feed, 6 or 8 inches long, right? And get that.
That feeds one person.
I was gonna say,
Well, depends how hungry you are. Get that silver skin off. You use if you're worth your salt, you should have a good fillet knife. So having a fillet knife when you're getting that silver skin off is phenomenal. And then yes, however you're gonna. And this is the other thing that I love about it. You get a deer down. You're hungry, right? If you do this right, it's 9 minutes. You get a cast iron skillet. Hot, so the oil's just kind of smoking 3 minutes on a side, and you're gonna have an outer crust to it with. I like a blackened seasoning, but Gentry, how do you like it?
Yo, either onion or garlic powder, preferably garlic powder, salt, pepper, and maybe if you're feeling frisky, put some thyme in the pan. You know what I'm talking about?
Whoa,
Fresh?
jeez,
Fresh time?
I don't even
Yeah.
know you anymore.
Okay.
Who has time at deer camp? But anyhow,
Do you know the stuff we have in that fridge?
yeah,
We have
you're
like
right.
20 packets
Yeah.
of KFC sauce.
Yeah.
And that is
Which is
never
not
getting
time. Anyways, so you do 3 minutes on each side. Every once in a while, I'll do 4. And you're gonna cut it open. And if you're squeamish about pink raw meat, just close your eyes because you can take a bite of that thing, and it is. That's the thing that you people fight over it. You're just like, oh, it's so good. You cut it thin, and that I tried doing it one time, making little medallions out of it and frying. And maybe you can do that, but it
Well,
gets
you
done
just-
so fast.
Yeah, it
Well, you
cooks
just
too
cooked
fast.
it
Yeah.
too long.
Yeah.
And if you have leftovers, you
If you
take
have
that really
leftovers.
sharp fillet knife,
Mm.
slice it super thin, and make venison steak and cheese subs.
Whoa.
that is a tip though. If you have, especially with backstrap, any roast really, but especially backstrap, if you have leftovers, I would suggest do not slice it up until you are ready
Yes.
to eat it.
Yeah.
So when it goes in the fridge,
Oh.
after you're done, leave it whole. Because
Yep.
as soon as you slice it up, it's going to dry out.
Oh.
And I don't like when we do Super Bowl because we always have venison backstrap.
Yeah.
Lisa Chafee
Mm.
usually I usually cook an extra one. She takes it home with her.
Yeah.
But I only cut enough for people to come get some and then wait and then slice some more, or the
Mhm.
knife's sitting there so people can slice off whatever
Yeah.
they want. But that's a really good point, is that it changes so quickly, just sitting there. And then one thing is, nobody's talked about it. We grill most of our stuff. That, you're doing stuff in a cast iron skillet and stuff like that. We grill it like steak. Get that grill as hot as you possibly can. Put it on there, sear it, flip it. One
And
flip.
it's done. Yeah, one flip.
Don't
One
forget to flip. I tend to do that.
That
Then
would
you
not be
cut it
great.
open, and the top half is brown and the bottom half is pink.
Now
It's
but you
not
have the
quite-
fancy thermometer now that tells
do,
you everything
yeah.
that's going on
Yeah.
your phone.
You got
so
an instant read thermometer?
I got a meter
Oh.
plus. I've only used it once because I haven't been doing as much grilling lately. But this summer I'm going to use a bunch more. But it's super nice. It's got a little, like a docking station, I guess. It's like a little wooden box that you can charge, and it charges the probe. So then you take the probe out and you literally put it in there, and you can plug in like, this is the type of, on your phone, there's an app. You can plug in and say, this is the type of meat. This is the temperature I want it to be at. I want it to alarm me on my phone when it hits these temperatures.
Oh, wow.
And it has an internal, so in the meat, and then it has an ambient. So if you don't have a grill that has like a reliable temperature gauge on it, like that thing will tell you what the temperature is on the outside. Now there's a bunch of different brands. I haven't tried any other ones. They're probably great too. That's just the one that I got, and from my one use, it is pretty sweet.
You ought to be able to set the world on fire with ribs with that.
Yes, and or like brisket, any of those things where you got to get it like just right. They sell them in sets where you can get like 3 probes on one of them, and then so that's what I would prefer to have. I just have the one, but
What are you smiling and shaking your head about?
Don't touch me. This guy has a smoker, and he will cook everything under the sun on it except for a brisket. I ask him every time, and I go, why didn't you buy his brisket? And he goes, well, have you looked at this pork shoulder? It's $10 less to the pound.
Yeah.
Why would I not just get this pork shoulder?
$10. It's like there's even a fraction.
And then he tried to convince me that pork shoulder was better than brisket once to validate his pork shoulder purchase. And I said, no, brisket is better. And he said, no, watch me cook this pork shoulder. And it was good. It was very good, but it was not better than a brisket.
Well, I've never made a brisket, so how would you know?
Because I've eaten brisket. I've eaten, believe it or not, I eat it other places.
I would agree. I mean, a brisket to feed our family is $80.
it's intimidating too.
Yeah,
It's like a serious. I did the first one I ever done at Thanksgiving as well, and it's a commitment. Yeah. Like you got to figure out your timing. You got to have towels to wrap it in when it's done, cradle it like a baby and sing to it. And put it. There's all kinds of crazy steps. And the one I did came out all right. It wasn't awesome, but it's difficult. And honestly, I like brisket, and maybe this is sacrilege or something, but after one serving, I'm that good. It's so rich that I'm just it, no matter how good it is, it's after however many bites, I'm just at the point where I can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
I had a brisket sandwich the other day, and by the time I was done with it, I was like, I don't even want this anymore. And it was fantastic. It was great. And I knew it was great while I was eating it, but by the time I was done, I was like, oh my gosh, it's so rich. We eat a lot of game that's lean, and maybe that's why I grew up on lean stuff, but
I don't know. Give me the part of the brisket's got that big strip of fat in it, and I'm happy.
Do we want to talk about fish here quickly?
Yes.
Because
I do want to talk about fish. Because you guys all in your red meat. So
I also have a disagreement with him on fish. But
all right. So obviously, walleye is the only fish out there. I'm just kidding. There's a lot of really good fish. But fish is really important. This is why ice fishing is better. I've said this before many times. You don't have to worry about keeping your fish cold when you're ice fishing. If you're open water fishing, keep that thing. If you keep it alive is the best. If you are going to bleed it, that thing needs to stay cold. The worst thing, the fishy, nasty flavor that can come from it just sitting outside and it gets warm and you're not. So meat prep, being prepared. You have a cooler, have it with ice or something that you're. That you can handle that meat. Then the fish fry is the best way I've ever had to have fish. So one of the best Father's Day presents I ever got is a burner and essentially it was from Amazon. It's crawfish shrimp boil, whatever. So it's a huge pot with a propane burner, and it comes with a smaller one that you can fit 2 quarts of oil, which that should be enough to feed at least 5 or 6 people.
What kind of oil?
This is where I'm a cheapo, so I'm vegetable oil. But yeah, if you do peanut oil, fine.
Same thing as the pork shoulder Matt.
I honestly don't think you can tell the difference, but that's my opinion. He
kills me, man. I can't.
Yeah.
Oh, keep going.
All right, so
because we haven't
it's
even got
very, very important that before you drop anything, you need to be above 350. And I'm right at 400 degrees that oil needs to be at, because anything you put in there is going to drop the temperature of that oil, and you're going to have to fry it too long, and it's going to get nasty and it's oily. It's not going to be good. So make sure you don't want to be 400 is pushing it, I usually, when
Not
I'm
with
starting,
peanut oil, by the way.
not
Go
with
ahead.
peanut oil. Fine. So I usually start at 400, and I'm kind of a stickler with my thermometer. It's in there. I'm wrestling with the thing the whole time I'm frying fish, but I like to know what my oil temp is at. And then when I'm frying, I do like if I have if you have thicker pieces.
You didn't even talk
bellies,
about batter. What do you do for
Well,
batter?
that's going to get people in trouble. But we have a secret recipe.
It's a family secret.
It's a family secret recipe that that's homemade. It's a combination of crackers, salt, and pepper.
Among other things. There's
Among
more in there than
no,
just
that's
that.
pretty much it.
Gotta leave something to the imagination.
Yeah, something to the imagination. We really like a thin batter. If you like a thick batter, you can do the beer batters and those type of things. I like to actually taste the fish. So anyways, you get it. Well, yeah, I kind of skipped right over this. You make sure that fish is dry. Like how I keep our fish in the freezer. I just put it in a Ziploc bag and get it encased in water. And so when it comes out, it's a big block of water.
Ice.
A big block of ice. Sorry. That you don't get any freezer burnt or anything like that. The only downside then is when you thought out that it's wet.
Full of water and fish.
So you're gonna get you a bunch of paper towels. Like if I do a fish fry and I go through, it's at least half a roll of paper towels by the time I'm all done with everything. Get it nice and dry, and then you do your batter. Whether we do an egg and condensed milk, and you can do regular milk. We just do 2 eggs and a deal of condensed milk, and that's the wet. And then just like when you're battering anything, you got a dry hand, you got a wet hand when you're moving it through. It always helps to have a helper because we have one person that, again, I like a thin batter, so it needs to drip until you basically have, like you're holding it up for 30 to 40 seconds per fillet to let it all drip, and then you put it in your batter, get your batter good, and then you're also going to go through a lot of sheet pans or whatever. So you have it sit there, and I always like to let it rest for an hour. Let your fillets rest for an hour before you drop them.
After they're battered.
After they're battered, yes.
So do you go milk, egg, batter?
No, it's so we mix the milk and the eggs. So we
Yes.
have we have the fillets sitting in the bag, and then you have a bowl full of your condensed milk and your eggs, and then you have usually like a Tupperware full of your batter, whether you're using like Shore Lunch beer batter, you make your own like we do, whatever it is, and then you have a sheet pan, which you don't have to lay paper towels over the sheet pan. We do just because it's easy to clean it up. You have them sitting on there, you leave them for an hour, and then you go to the oil, which you already talked about, but Dad does not believe in the double batter, the double fry, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, because you're not tasting the fish.
I'm a
You're
firm
just tasting
believer
batter.
in the
Might as well
double
just
fry.
eat chips.
For anyone out there who doesn't know what it is, I'm talking about when you so you do the battering process like we talked about.
Can I
You
leave
fry
the
the
room?
fish. We don't fry it to completion. You fry it just to where that batter starts to crust up on that fish. Take it out. Just do the dry batter again because the oil will obviously make the batter stick to it, so you don't need a wet. And then you go back in the oil, and that creates your double fry, which is superior to the single fry.
So I had a thought about batter for fish.
Yes.
I love Dutch pretzels.
You have what?
Dutch pretzels.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Crushing up the Parmesan,
Oh.
garlic, pretzels,
Yeah.
and using that as a batter for fish.
Yeah.
I haven't done it.
I bet you could do it with any of them except for maybe the cinnamon sugar ones.
Yeah, that probably wouldn't be right.
But like the honey mustard or like the
That-
Southwest, those, yeah.
I can see it being good.
It's
Put
like
it on the
putting,
list.
It's like putting ketchup on a steak, but whatever. You guys do you.
Wow.
You said you do crackers, you make your own.
Yeah, that's
Why? How's that different than a pretzel?
It's just a curly cracker.
with a whole bunch of garlic and all the other kind of stuff. Come on.
Do
Yeah,
you
do
You have
you
the best
know-
meat.
do you-
Walleye is the best meat in the world.
do you not
And then
season?
you're gonna
Do you not season anything else you cook?
No, he does. He's black.
not my
seasoning for
beautiful
everything.
fish.
Oh, okay. So you could season everything but fish.
Everything but fish.
Okay.
So, but you know that if you season something and cook it, the amount of seasoning flavor goes away, cuts in half at least.
Oh
most
yeah.
of the
Well,
time.
that and you're gonna
especially if you're
you're gonna
deep
wreck your
frying.
beautiful peanut oil then.
No, you're not.
You
Because
don't
you
use
just
peanut oil.
if you use peanut oil, you just strain it and reuse it. Vegetable oil, you toss.
We do toss it.
Yeah,
true.
yeah. You toss. It's a single use thing.
So peanut oil, you just strain it out and use it again.
All right.
Is there any knowledge here about frying in like beef tallow
I've tried it once and it was really good
with fish?
Yeah.
Because that is something I've had a couple things recently since it's kind of like a big deal
2 times
these days. Because people are trying to get away from the seed oils, which I'm all about.
Agreed.
I had like, so I'm not a big like plain potato chip fan, but I had these plain potato chips from Costco or somewhere that were fried in beef tallow, like they had it on the
Yeah.
outside. The bar none the best plain potato chips I've ever had. So now I'm like interested. I'm like, what? Can you just like fry everything in beef tallow?
I think
'Cause
so.
I
think it'd be
remember
great.
actually when he did this. It was a couple months ago.
Yeah.
It wasn't. It definitely tasted different. It was better than the vegetable oil by a decent margin. You could definitely tell. So yeah, it was.
And
good.
Costco
It's good
carries
to know.
it. So, Costco,
Costco
feel free
does.
But
feel free to sponsor
Where's
us.
beef tallow going to burn at though?
I don't know.
I don't remember how the heck I
What do you
attempted.
call that? It's not the flash point.
Smoke
it's
point.
yeah, or something like that.
Yeah, that's the issue
'Cause
with
I know,
a lot of
like-
them. Like olive oil, a lot of people are going away from olive oil because the smoke point is lower.
Yep.
So like if you want to cook hot, it's going to smoke out. But then you can use like avocado oil, which will the smoke
Avocado
point is quite a
might
bit
be the
higher.
highest.
It's pretty high. That's what we've. That's
and
what
peanut
we use
oil
for
is just a
everything.
little bit lower than that.
I think it goes like avocado, peanut, vegetable oil. There's one I'm missing.
Where do you throw
There's a
coconut?
bunch in there.
There's a whole bunch.
There's
of
lots.
Yeah, but I'm saying like of the
The big ones,
bigger
yeah.
ones.
Yeah.
Canola oil. It's one of
Yeah,
them.
yeah, that was it. I think canola's a little higher than vegetable.
And then
Anyways.
one last bit. So if you have that back to the fryer, you put it in, and I always try to match my pieces. So if I'm doing the bellies, the bigger parts of the fillets, those all go together versus they just cook differently. So your same size meat pieces of flesh you're frying shouldn't be any longer than like a minute and a half if you have your oil right.
Cook till it floats.
It all depends.
Yes, we cook till it floats.
I don't know. I'm kind of I like to mess around with it a little bit so that it's. Anyways, it's in there for about a minute and a half. Then I'm out, and then if you're not a how do I say this? If you're not averse to salt, as soon as it comes out, if you throw just a little bit of salt on it, oh man, it's not good for you, but it's so good. Just a little bit. You
Fried
can
fish isn't good
definitely
for you in general.
you can definitely overdo it, but right as it comes out of the fryer, it just sticks to it, and it's jackpot. So
And then how many gallons of tartar sauce?
yeah, that we call it
Lots.
pickle gravy at our house.
No,
That's what my daughter.
Wait a
calls it.
minute. Wait.
You call it that.
You actually dip your fish in pickle gravy.
Well, I don't, but my
Well, wait.
my family does. They gotta have it, and yes, I do.
'cause
I do
Yeah.
love me. I do love me some tartar sauce. Yes.
Do you do any like lemon juice?
Yeah.
anything
So
like
it's homemade. My wife does it, and I don't know how she does it.
It's pickles, mayo, lemon juice, and
Oh,
think
the
that's
lemon
it.
juice is in the tartar.
Yes.
I'm talking about like just putting lemon juice on
Oh
the
no,
fish.
I
No.
don't typically know.
so
I wouldn't be averse to it, but I don't. No.
you had a problem with pretzels, but you'll douse your fish with.
Yeah, I didn't. No, I did
Tartar
not say
sauce.
douse. I did not say douse.
Dabble.
Devil.
I don't care if you're dabbling or dousing.
It's not a slather.
That is
You-
much more the equivalent to putting ketchup on steak.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
I like
Absolutely.
it. Don't get me wrong. I don't mind it, but
I've had your fried fish though, and I did not dip it in anything. I just ate it.
Yeah. Oh, I'm
It's
definitely
good.
doing
I've
that
had it
too.
too.
Yes,
That's the awesome thing about being the fryer too is you can be
because you did it
sample.
when Riley Gaines was at
Yeah,
the
yeah,
house.
yeah. That was awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right.
That was very good.
I want to throw a couple quick ones out there just for a little more ammunition for people. Wild turkey or any real like poultry, whiter bird meat. Anything you do chicken with, obviously, but like one of my favorites is Alfredo. Doing like a wild turkey Alfredo. So that one's really good. And then we have like our go-to marinade for red meat, like venison stuff. It's super simple and it's honestly always good, and you can kind of play with it too. The main one we do is it's equal parts, like usually depending on the size of the roast or whatever, like maybe a cup of each, like soy sauce, honey, and Italian dressing. We used to use
Olive
like the
Garden Italian
powder.
dressing.
Yeah, we used to use like the powdered stuff that you mix with water for the Italian dressing, but we switched over to the Olive Garden stuff, and it's great. You can use all kinds, but that stuff's what we use. So you mix that up. You can put some seasonings in it, and just put your meat in there. And you can put it in the fridge or let it go to room temp. A lot of people recommend letting it get to room temp. But like depending on the size of meat, play with it like half an hour, something like that before. But if you cut your meat into like medallions before you cook it, very brief, like 15 minutes, something like that, because it'll make a big difference. We use that for pretty much everything. And the gist of it is like you have some flavor in the Italian dressing, you have some acidity with the soy sauce, and the Italian dressing, I guess, because it's got vinegar in it, and then you've got some sweet with salty with soy sauce too, and then sweet with the honey. So those are like the three categories. Like you got some extra flavor, some salty, and some sweet, and you can play with that. Like you can switch those things up. Like we've done maple syrup instead of honey, for example.
Real maple syrup.
Yes. Not like I guess it's not Aunt Jemima anymore. Whoever, Miss Butterworth or somebody. Don't do that. You get some real stuff. Costco's like the only place, Costco's like the only place I know around here
sponsor us
with some real maple syrup.
And
they
it's
have
actually
pretty
not
good
a bad
stuff.
price either. I don't get it.
But anyway, that's the idea of those ones. And also you can take that red meat, which I did this, it sounds weird, but you can take that red meat like venison and like slice it into real thin strips and put it into Alfredo. And it sounds weird, but I did it. I don't know if you remember that, but I did it. I made it when I was in college, and I just took a liking to it. And I was like, maybe this is just one of my weird things that I like because I don't have a lot of money and I got this stuff, And I made it for them one time, and they were like, man, this is actually really good. Because he was telling me, he's like, I don't know about this one, buddy. Like, this is weird, But it turned out pretty good. So you can mix and match a lot of this stuff is kind of what I'm getting at. But that's where we start, is that soy sauce, Italian dressing, and honey.
What I was looking for is one of my buddies sent me a recipe for duck Philly cheesesteaks, and the marinade for it was Italian dressing, half cup of soy sauce, half cup of Worcestershire sauce, and then salt, black pepper, and garlic powder. So
there you go.
Very close to what you just said.
Just without so much sweet,
Yeah, which I guess would make sense for ducks and geese and stuff, and I guess the dish you're making. But anyways.
I forgot about the pheasant quesadillas. That was a winner.
It sounds good.
If you have,
we just made it exactly like you would a chicken quesadilla. Just
exactly.
Salt, pepper.
Well, you can deep fry too.
Oh
like,
yeah.
Pheasant strips or whatever. And you said about you said before the speckle belly recipe.
Oh yeah. Well, that was Gentry. Yeah.
That was me. But yeah.
Salt, pepper, garlic.
Oh yes.
Coat the outside of that. Pluck it. Because they're
do the plucking first before you season.
They are worth plucking if they're not shut up.
With the whiz bang chicken plucker.
If you got one.
Actually, you can only do a couple through the whiz bang because they're pretty oily feathers. So then the fingers start getting oily and they don't want to pull off. Anyway.
Downsides of the whiz bang.
Just gotta throw a little Dawn dish soap in there.
All right.
We should get sponsored by them too.
So you've got this bird, it's got the skin on, plucked. Coat that thing with salt, pepper, and garlic powder. Okay? Put some onion powder on it if you want to. Take an onion, raw onion.
Yep.
Cut it in half, quarter it, whatever. Put a couple pieces in there. Put a part of a pear and apple because they're not big birds. Throw that onion and the apple in there.
The cavity of the bird.
In the cavity of the bird. Sew it up. Just
sew it up. Dang.
So it doesn't fall out.
Yeah.
Throw that on a rotisserie.
I could see that being the reason for sewing it.
Throw it on a rotisserie. It is.
And the most crucial part, and we'd usually do it with duck, but the most crucial part is you got to eat the fruit after. Like take the pear out or the apple out or whatever, and it's like soft and it's warm. So it seems really weird.
Meat.
But like you take that out and you eat it, and it's like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's like a meaty flavored fruit. It's so good. It doesn't sound good at all, but it sounds
amazing.
You put
I don't know. You're describing it to me.
Salt, pepper, and garlic in the cavity. I put it in the cavity too.
Yeah.
But
Oh, man,
when
it's
I
so
say
good.
coat it, I mean coat it.
Yeah.
Because the best part about the rotisserie, and you can get Ronco rotisseries, they're inexpensive. They are awesome. They literally are set it and forget it.
They last forever.
They do, because I abuse mine so bad. But it's cooking in its own juice the entire time, right? Because it's turning. And you'd think that literally coating it with garlic powder and onion powder and seasoned salt and black pepper and stuff like that, it would be overpowering. It's not.
No.
Not even a little bit. It is absolutely fantastic.
That's
Yeah,
one of
those
my
big
favorite
pieces of
meals of all time is the duck like that. Domestic duck generally, but one of my favorite
But a
all
speckle
time.
belly is like a domestic bird. I mean, they are phenomenal.
Dude, they're good, but when I made it, I didn't think it was better than like a widgeon.
Operator error, maybe.
Probably.
I guess. I mean, I cooked it the same as I would a duck, so that's probably there's probably a difference I should have done there.
I brought some specks back from Canada. He probably doesn't remember it, but he's eating speck on the rotisserie, and I think I actually put 2 on there because they're not huge birds. But yeah, it is. Put it this way. Whenever Pam and I, because if I find ducks, usually you can find them in the fall around Thanksgiving in the stores, and they're usually pretty cheap. You know,
Yeah.
you get a 6-pound duck for $15, something like that. If we have it, I text him and his sister pictures. Be like, "This is what we're having. Wish you were here." Not, because then I get to eat the whole thing.
I only got
Whatever
6
Pam
pounds.
doesn't eat, there's not leftovers.
Yeah.
If it's just one bird.
Generally, there's a profanity or 2 in response.
Yeah, but the thing of it is, everything that we've just talked about, there is nothing difficult.
Correct.
No.
There's
not good
no
chefs.
chefdom going on with any
Not at
of
all.
these recipes. And it's literally been us, at least on our side, we're just playing with stuff.
Yeah.
Like, hey, this might sound pretty good. And we try it.
There's
And
been plenty of
fails.
screw ups.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been,
But more often than not, it turns out pretty good. And usually it's just a step in the right direction. It's like, oh, well, next time we'll add a little more of this or a little less of that, and it'll be better. So.
remember the eiders I shot in Maine?
I don't remember eating them.
We ordered pizza.
Yeah, sea ducks.
They are.
Generally
I will
not good.
never ever shoot another eider ever because I was so excited. And the guy that I went with, friend of mine, we were on the Maine coast, shot eiders like crazy. He gave me, just do it. It was a little bit complicated, but just do it. And I was so fired up because he did it while we were there, and it was fantastic. I come home, try to do the same thing. He doesn't remember this. He was little, but he's like standing there by the grill. Can't wait. I've never had this. Because I brought a couple home.
'Cause you were excited.
I had them mounted.
Yeah, you got them stuffed because you're in the house.
Yeah, they're in the house. And he's like, Can I try it? And I'm like, yeah, you can try when it's hot. Be careful, And he took a bite out of it, and he's chewing it, and he's just staring at me, and he's looking at me. And I'm like, what's the matter? And he goes, can I spit this out? He spit it off the deck, and I'm like, what? And I grab a piece of it, and I tried it, and I'm like, honey, we're getting pizza. It was awful. It was absolutely, and they're sea ducks. They're tough. But
I was gonna say, I assume it's like cooking a diver, which is not fun. But
other than
even
cans,
worse.
Canvasback, man, I'll tell you what, Canvasback is fantastic. I don't know why, can't explain it, but they are
I
fantastic.
think I've eaten like 2 canvasback in my life, and they tasted like every other diver duck I've ever had.
I think it's operator error.
It could
It seems to be a theme at this
Yes.
point that we all like stuff that you're not impressed with.
Whoa,
So I think
the only other thing was the heart, which he
the
doesn't.
speckle belly.
I like the speckle belly. I just didn't think it was better than duck.
Hmm.
I think speckle belly's great. I think it's better than probably half the ducks you can shoot. And the other thing was the heart, which like I don't mind heart. I just don't think it's top 2 meats in a deer.
That is.
I think most
that is a
people
bold
probably
statement.
don't think that. I don't
Yeah.
expect anybody to agree with me on that. That's just a personal
Most people
tenderloin, heart, backstrap. That's my top 3.
Are you rage baiting? Is that a thing?
No, I'm not. No, if I would,
like the
if I
kids
was,
say.
then I'd
Like
probably.
the kids say. I
say-
learned that term this
I
week.
don't know, something different. But should
Well,
we
people freak out about
organ meat?
organ.
Yeah.
But I grew up eating it. I mean, we were eating heart and liver and tongue and all that kind of stuff, like always. So it never really bothered me. Little chicken hearts in your chicken gravy and stuff like that.
Yeah, they used to fight over those. Chicken hearts. Trying to get. I'm a gizzard man.
Fact of the week.
Did anybody have any scripture they wanted to?
You do.
I have a couple verses that I just wanted to mention.
I'm sorry, I wasn't prepared.
One of them's that's okay. One of them's a review, I guess, because I think it's really important to review, and that's Genesis 9:3. Any living creature that moves about shall be yours to eat. I give them all to you as I did the green plants. Pretty self-explanatory. Yeah. So if you want to give us any grief, you can. We're still going to keep doing what we're doing.
God said you can eat all of it.
And then another one that I found, 1 Corinthians 10, verse 31. So whether you eat or drink or whatever you do everything for the glory of God. And I think that that's easy to forget when you're talking about recipes and cooking and hunting and all these things. It's like, what do I do? What do you do? But ultimately, I think the biggest joy of all this stuff is that cooking this stuff and Super Bowl parties or whatever it is brings people together. I mean, we've already been talking about, are we going to do fish fry? Are we going to get together and cook a bunch of heart or whatever it is? Like just sitting here talking about it, we're already making plans. And so it brings people together, and anytime that happens is a good thing. And one thing I saw the other day that I wanted to bring up briefly was this cool clip online about some pastor, preacher, some guy that was doing, or motivational speaker, I don't know. He's talking about faith stuff, and I don't know who he was, but he was talking about how food is so important to our faith, and it's something that a lot of people overlook. And like, yeah, there's all this stuff about diet and eating healthy and, the body is the temple and all that. But like food is one thing I think a lot of people overlook. And he was basically explaining that like in the same way as everything else that God has given us and created for us, it's inherently good. And it's sin and us and the devil that make it bad. And food is no exception. Like the way that we choose to feed ourselves can completely dictate our lives. Like if we choose to eat things that are clean, not in the Mosaic law sense, but in the terms of like healthy, if we choose to eat things that are clean and good for us, we're going to be better off. And that can help us get closer to God and be better people and be there for our families, whether it's our parents or our kids or relatives, friends, whoever. It puts us in a better position to provide. And not only in the way of bringing food, but just, being able to go to work, being able to physically protect if, God forbid, if necessary. And if you feed yourself bad stuff, it's going to make your walk in faith in life more difficult. And it's going to be easier to fall in other traps of temptation. If you're eating a bunch of junk food from gas stations, you already feel like crap. It might be that much easier to have too many drinks or to go indulge yourself in something you shouldn't be because you already feel like crap. Like, I mean, for me personally, when I eat good, like regularly for a while, it makes me want to eat junk less. Like I feel better and I'm like, that seems gross. You know what I mean? Which seems like a weird thing because it's usually like if I'm eating a bunch of healthy stuff, it's going to make me want to have some junk because I haven't had anything sweet. Yeah. But a lot of times it does the opposite. Like if I'm working out more, if I'm eating better, like I want the junk less. And I think that that's representative of or analogous to everything we do. It's like if you continue to make the right decisions, the hard decisions for what's best for you and the people around you, then that will translate to making you actually repulsed in a way from making the bad decisions. Because whether it's like, I don't want to damage this progress or I see the good that this is doing in my life. So all of that is basically to say, choose wisely and intentionally. And I think personally, and I'm sure you guys, most of you mostly agree, wild game is about as wise a choice as you can make because it is clean. It's not altered by the crap that goes into, and trust me, I eat plenty of meat from the store. I wish I didn't have to, but I do. And I like it. There's great stuff out there, but all that stuff is, whether it's the way the animals are being raised, the way the meat's being taken care of, even if it's great, you don't know.
Yeah.
And the thing about wild game is that and
Every step in the
every
process.
step, and as confidently as you possibly can, unless you raise the animal for its entire life in your backyard. You know as much as you possibly can that your meat is coming from a safe place, from a clean place, and that it's going to be healthy and, you know, sustain you and your family in the cleanest way possible. So that's my spiel.
And it's fun.
That too.
And it's really fun.
And if you disregard all of the, you know, money you may or may not spend on gear and gas and all that stuff, and you distill it down to just what it takes that day, then it's like, man, this $2 bullet got me $1,000 worth of meat. That's pretty good return on investment right there. So,
well, I don't know if you consider it all beef brisket, you might be coming out ahead.
It's true.
Whatever. So I'll let you guys do this, but this, you know, when we get to heaven, I kind of want to meet Jacob because. You know, if you remember the story, Jacob sells his birthright for some lentil stew, and it's like gross. How do you make lentils taste good? But he did, and then his dad, you know, he if you know the story, he basically tricked his father into by baking a goat, I think is what it was. So he was a chef, if you will, in the Bible, and did a great job with it. Maybe one of those patriarchs. Nobody's perfect, but what's your lentil stew recipe? Who makes those things taste good?
I don't know. I've just heard that it makes you gassy.
Yeah,
that's about all I know.
Fact of the week:
goat is extremely rich. If you've never eaten it, I have not.
They eat a lot of it in Jamaica.
A lot of It's very rich.
It's pretty good though, in my opinion.
I like it personally.
Rich, like if you describe a brisket, like that, like fatty, or what do you mean?
No, it's a different. It's. I don't really know.
It's like, I would say this is not an exact comparison, but if you've ever had like mutton,
it
sounds. It's like that. It's like it has a very distinct flavor.
Yeah,
and it's not like real like. Tough, not that greasy is the right word for brisket, but it's not like that fatty rich. It's more of like it's just that flavor is like a very deep flavor. It's intense. It's not something you're going to be able to cover with like seasoning. Yeah, essentially.
You'll know what you're eating.
Yeah, but I think it's pretty good.
All right. So the fact of the week, there's two answers for this one technically. So how old is the Boone and Crockett Club? So you can give me the year it was founded in, or however many years old it is.
I think I actually said this.
I think you did.
You did.
Yeah, because TR came up with it, so that's going to be we should almost say the year, and Ryer should go last, because if you get it wrong, come on, man.
I don't know. I know I'm close, but I don't remember what the exact year is.
I'm going to say, I feel like I'm way off. I'm going to go 1931.
Okay.
1918.
I know
I'm wrong.
I know it was definitely earlier than both of those.
Dang it.
18 something.
I'm trying to remember.
Seriously?
If it was, I know it was just on either side. I think it was on the 18 side, so I'm going to say 1896.
1887.
1887.
Whoa.
139 years old. 2026.
Dang, he came up. That was Teddy Roosevelt came up with it, right?
Yeah. Teddy Roosevelt and George Bird Grinnell.
Named, which is the Grinnell Glacier in Glacier National Park's named after that.
I wonder how old he was when he did this, because I mean, he was president just after the 1900s, right? So he could have been that old.
40s, I guess.
I don't know.
If that. Anyways.
Well, he was a kid when he came out here.
Well, I mean, his wife has died. His wife has died, right? You know.
Well, his wife didn't die of.
That's why he came out here.
Causes.
Correct, but that's why he came out here.
His kid was a child, like I want to say he's like 10 or 11.
Oh, his
old.
children were Yeah.
So he was a young man.
Yep.
Like he probably wasn't even 30 years old when he came out here.
And
might have been.
And killed a lot of stuff. Like if you read about how he came out here,
that's where his passion came from.
Yeah.
I wish we could get some recipes from him.
No kidding.
If anyone knows, leave it in the comments.
Probably.
Leave it in the comments.
Cut a chunk off and put it on the stick and throw it over the fire.
Mm-hmm.
All right, check us out on YouTube, Instagram, Spotify, all the things.
100.7 Club Radio.
Yep, Saturdays at 8. We just put out a deer hunting video from last year, so check that out while you're at it. And have a good week.